Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Between the Games. This is a episode specifically about video game adaptations, and we're going to kind of discuss a handful of our favorites and some ideas we have for future adaptations. As always, I'm Eric and joined by...
I'm Jess.
I know, I kind of threw you off with the different intro because I always forget how to do a Between the Games because there's no set exact way. But yeah, we're just going to talk about video game adaptations. Might as well just start off with the two that we've talked about on the show. You can go listen to those episodes, which is Five Nights at Freddy's and the Mario movie. Pretty recent ones that we would both agree are good to great movies, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, I would say both of those are good to great. They've come out in the last year. But I was looking at a list of video game movies. We'll start with movies and then we can go into TV shows because I feel like, in my experience, TV shows, animes, whatever, typically have a better hit rate than movies. It took until Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for a movie to pass video game movie to pass 60% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is crazy. And it looks like the first one that's like listed on the Wikipedia for video game movies was like the original Mario Brothers movie in like 93. So they've been coming out for 30 years and it took quite a long time for them to even have one that people thought was like good. What's your experience with like video game movies overall? Have you seen a lot of them or do you try to avoid them?
It's not that I tried to avoid them. It's just I don't watch a lot of like movies in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like kind of hard for me to completely have a big opinion on it. But I can say one of the like first adaptations that I remember, I think it was a show, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Okay.
It was a Super Mario Brothers show.
Oh yeah.
But with like they would change from like animated to like live action.
Yeah, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was with like Lou Albano, like kind of a chubby guy with a big mustache.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good shit. Yeah, that's harmless, right? It was like
Yes, it was that one.
Yeah, it's like it's for kids, right? Pretty soon after that was Sonic the Hedgehog in 1993, who I would say has always had good adaptations because they're always animated shows. And then of course we finally got the movie and it was fantastic. So Sonic has been like designed to have good adaptations. Even the terrible game Sonic Boom got like an incredible TV show adaptation that people like love. So Sonic, you can bet money on him having at least a passable to good to even great like adaptation. Was there ever a time where you saw like a video game movie adaptation and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Not that I can think of, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I had to do a lot of convincing to myself with the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and like reminding myself that it's different, like it's an alternate universe to the game lore, because I don't know if the listeners here know, but I am a gigantic Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Like if you put a video essay in front of me and it's 8 hours long about the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's, I will watch it and I will report back about it.
Yeah, that's that was I enjoyed that and I'm excited to see where they go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely different from the game, which if you want to hear more on that, we have the whole episode you can go listen to. Yeah, I was trying to think like what's the first like video game movie or show or anything aside from Sonic, like I mentioned, that I watched. Because there was also a Kirby show around the same time as like Sonic shows that were happening, and those were pretty good. Honestly, the first like what the fuck is this? that I watched, I think, was like the original Mortal Kombat movie, which is not bad, and it's really campy, and it's worth a watch, and so is the second one. But man, those are just like not good movies. Came out in 1995, which we discussed, and I think like one of our very first Between the Games, if not our first one. Mortal Kombat 2 came out in 1993, so pretty soon after the original like game came out, probably I think in like 1990 or 91, like 5 years later they came out with a movie, and it was not good, but I do love it. Like I liked it when I was younger, and I still like it now. A more recent one that I still like, I usually, if I start a show, I'll at least finish the first season. The Halo TV show was awful.
There's a TV show for Halo?
Yeah, it came out like 2-3 years ago. It was bad. I know I said we'll stick to movies first, but this is like, so it came out in 2022, the first one. There's 2 seasons now. Yeah, I think in the like second or third episode, Master Chief like shows his face, and then he continues to show his face like a lot, and then I'm pretty sure he has sex with somebody in the show.
What?
Yeah, it's like, I get it. Like, I'm usually open to like, okay, yeah, this is, and they've said as much, like, this is a different world. It's not the same as the game. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but like, you're kind of missing the point of the character. And like, nothing against the guy, the actor who plays Master Chief. He's pretty good, but like, he's not like the most attractive dude to where it's like, you really had to show his face. Like, yeah, it's very strange. Like, I definitely saw Master Chief's butt at one point, and I didn't ever need to see that. So that was definitely one where I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why am I watching this? And then eventually I just stopped. Like, I didn't finish the first season because it was that just like, I'm just not enjoying this anymore. And it takes a lot for me to fall off of a show that bad and never have any desire to go back. But yeah, that definitely is probably one of the worst ones that I've seen. But there are plenty of bad ones out there that I knew were going to be bad, and I was like, let's go ahead and not watch this, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's been a while, but they finally have started to get it where I'm like, okay, they announced a video game movie. I'm kind of excited for it because they kind of have a good idea of what it's going to be. But like before, when they were like, yeah, Michael Fassbender is going to be in an Assassin's Creed movie, I'm like, yeah, I love Michael Fassbender. He's a great actor, but that movie's going to be garbage. And it was. It did really poorly. So I think video game adaptations as a whole have been hit or miss, mostly miss. But I will say TV shows, like I said earlier, have been exceptional. Have you watched like more video game TV shows, would you say?
I wouldn't say so.
Mm-hmm.
I would be completely real. When I watched Pokemon, I watched the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and that's really it.
For sure. There's plenty out there that I think you would like. One being one of my favorites, which was, I think, 2021, right? When that came out. Arcane, which is a League of Legends show on Netflix. Extremely good. Only one season so far. I think the next season
is coming out with season 2.
Yeah, eventually. But that is so good. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, another Netflix 2022. Super good. The Last of Us is incredible.
Oh yeah, no, I watched that. Never mind. Yeah, I did watch that one.
That's probably like peak video game adaptation. Like it's so good.
And Pedro Pascal did amazing.
Yes, very, very good. Castlevania on Netflix. Not Nocturne. I've heard mixed on that, but the first Castlevania, the 3 seasons, I think. Yeah, extremely good. And then kind of one of the reasons we're talking about this is because like I've heard great things about the Fallout show that just came out. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. and all I've heard is really good things. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm actually intrigued to check that out. So that's kind of why we're talking about this. But the main point of this episode is to discuss what like we want in a video game adaptation. What what like show or movie based off a video game do we want to come out? But first, we have a listener's suggestion, correct?
Oh, yes.
From your friend?
It's a very silly suggestion from my very silly friend, Lily.
Mm-hmm.
I met her in my conspiracy theory class. And we were just talking about, because she asked me what I was doing. And I said, like, after class. And I was like, oh, I'm going to come do this podcast. And she's like, oh, what are you guys talking about? So I gave her a little synopsis of what we were going to talk about. She's like, I have an idea. So her idea is a noir type, like a black and white, no words type of TV show, with the main character being Crash Bandicoot, played by Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, that's a good casting.
And it's basically Crash being a detective.
Okay.
And getting into silly little like altercations and stuff.
Okay. How familiar with Crash Bandicoot are you?
I played the DS game.
Okay.
And that's it.
So I would love to be inside her mind to like get an idea of what the fuck this looks like, but I can't picture it at all. I'm like stumbling in my brain trying to figure it out. It's in black and white. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's no words, right? It's like a silent thing.
I think she said noir, like
noir does not necessarily mean silent movie.
Well, no, I know, but she meant. I don't know how to explain it, but she was like, since Crash doesn't talk, there's no need for talking.
Okay. So, and then this is animated.
I don't know.
Because if you're casting Sam Rockwell to be Crash Bandicoot, unless it's live action and the guy, it's just Sam Rockwell and they're like, oh, that guy's name is Crash Bandicoot and he's a detective. That's the only way I can picture that. Because otherwise, if it's animated and you have Sam Rockwell but no one talks, why do you have Sam Rockwell?
I'm going to be completely honest. We talked about it for maybe like 10 seconds and then we moved on.
It's definitely a wild thought. Maybe we'll get a follow-up or something while we're recording this episode. But that is something else. Okay. I will accept it as a possibility, and if Sam Rockwell is ever cast as Crash Bandicoot for whatever reason, Lily called it. We'll go with that. Jess, do you have one that you want to go with first, or would you rather me start? How do you want to do this?
I'm currently typing out the questions to Lily, so
Perfect.
You can start.
Okay. So I'm going to start with an easy one that I think will happen. Okay. And it's a movie. I have one movie, and I think it's in my mind. I have two movies and one show. Those are my, I want these to happen. But I'll start with the one that I think will happen, and that is a Luigi's Mansion movie
That would be so sick.
It might be a TV show, who knows, but within the world of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Like, we already got it, right? We already have them set up. All we need is during the next movie for Professor Egad to exist in some way, shape, or form, and then we have our possibility of getting a Luigi's Mansion movie, which they already kind of, teased. He had the big old bag in the first movie, and he's like walking around with his flashlight and stuff. They kind of gave us a taste, but I think it's like a perfect adaptation. You don't have to pay Chris Pratt, who's probably the most expensive person on the cast, because he'll be stuck in a painting for the whole movie, basically. And I think that one's like an obvious one that will happen. But I don't know when it'll happen or if it'll be, because they're doing a Donkey Kong TV show. So I'll be curious if they do a Luigi's Mansion TV show, which I think could be good.
It could work for sure.
Yeah. But I think there's like so many fun spin-offs you could do now that the Super Mario Brothers movie was like made them like $1 bajillion. Like I think a tennis tournament would be fun, or anything like that. Like you could do all the kinds of spin-off. I think the way they handled Mario Kart was perfect. Like they kind of did it already. It's like a thing that exists within the Mushroom Kingdom, but like all the sports ones would be kind of fun. Like little spin-off things. But yeah, that's my first one. That's kind of like a layup. I think it will happen eventually. My other two, one is confirmed not going to happen. And then the other one is like a dream that I would scream if the trailer ever happened. But, do you have your first one that you would like to discuss?
I only have one.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe another one will come up while we're talking.
Maybe it'll just be like, oh my God, actually.
Yeah. It's like half of you like on this show. Like you just, you're like, wait, actually, I thought of something. So that's par for the course.
Yeah. But what's it called? So for the game we just played, Storyteller, that would be like, I'd love, and I would watch the shit out of that, like as a TV show. Because like each season they could like break it up as each chapter, and they don't have to do like 4 episodes per season as how like the chapters had like 4. I just want to know like the backstories behind each of these characters. Like who do the creators think Lenora actually loves? Because I know that you were able to do like Lenora and the purple-haired girl as lovers instead of like traditional like heterosexual relationships. So I'm like, how would they do it? And I want to see it like Bridgerton-esque style, and just be able to get like the background.
That would be interesting.
The setups of those stories.
Okay, I could see that. I think it would be very interesting, and I think it could be. There's a show. There's a show that was based off of not a manga, but like a, basically just like a comic strip that had like these short little stories, not like a manga where it's like a full story, called The Way of the House Husband. And there's like 5 shorts within a 22-minute episode. So maybe it could be something like that, where it's like these short little stories that are depicting the puzzles in ways, except you kind of have some filler where there's actual dialogue and stuff, instead of just like whatever, and then like people getting shot, like which ends up happening a lot. Yeah, I think that could be interesting. I can visualize it because like there's already a pretty clear cut visual style. I think the writing of it would definitely be the trickier part of making it a full season. Or I mean, maybe it's just a limited series and it's just a one-time thing, you know?
Yeah. I did get an answer.
Okay. We got a Lily update.
So I asked 2 follow-up questions. I said, would it be a silent TV show? And would it be animated? And so she says it would be a movie, actually, and it would be silent, not animated. But no CGI and only practical theater effects, a la like a Broadway run of Cats.
Oh, good
so
God.
You'd have Sam Rockwell practically in a furry suit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you seen the old Crash Bandicoot like costumes?
No.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to send to you these horrifying here we go. Yeah. This is what they used to have people wear to advertise Crash Bandicoot. This is what I'm picturing Sam Rockwell in.
Oh my God.
For those of you listening, obviously you can't see this, but if you just look up Crash Bandicoot costume, there's plenty of pretty decent cosplays and suits, and there's some awful ones as well. But the one I am talking about is the big old Crash Bandicoot face with a hole cut out in his teeth where your face goes, and that's the way he was advertised for the longest time, even during like commercials and stuff. So that is what I'm picturing Sam Rockwell in a noir. So it's in black and white on top of that. Just terrible. Like, I don't know who would fund that, but Lily, you definitely have some creativity. Cause I would have never in a million years thought of that as a possibility.
Yeah. Lily is amazing. We talked in our last episode about how I did a, what's it called? I did my like podcast for my conspiracy theory class. And we're still trying to figure out if we want to actually release it or not.
It's a good one. I liked it.
But she plays the part as my co-host in
does a good
podcast.
Job. So if you out there again feel like maybe our next Between the Games will just be this bonus episode of a conspiracy theory podcast, and Jess can make up the thumbnail art for it, so I can change the thumbnail for the one episode. If you guys are interested in that, let us know, because I'd be totally fine putting that on the feed. That would be fun, because I listened to it. It's 30 minutes. It's a lot of fun, and who knows, maybe it'll be a spin-off project for Jess. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed that.
I have 3/4 of the team saying that they're down to come back and reprise their roles.
3/4?
Yeah.
There was 4 people involved?
There was the conspiracy theory prophet himself, the skeptic, my co-host, and then me.
Oh, I literally didn't know there was 4 people on the show. So 2 of them sound very similar.
I introduced all of them at the beginning.
Well, I was doing chores. You got to give me a break. Okay.
That's fair.
I'll listen to it again and see if I can pick it up. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun for you guys to improv like that, and get random people from like your theater friends to like jump in and be a character for a 15-minute episode or something like that. Okay. Moving back onto track. So Jess, if you have any more, let me know, but I'll move into the one that I know will not happen, but should have happened. But it's not going to happen because they've already announced that they're doing a live action Legend of Zelda, which is the wrong way to have an adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. The correct way to do it would be to back up the Brinks truck to Studio Ghibli and have them make a 45-minute movie with no voices at all. Just beautiful animation and a story. Even make it 90 minutes, whatever. That is the only... I mean, they could add voices, but Link doesn't need to talk. You just have beautiful Studio Ghibli style art for The Legend of Zelda. That is the correct way to adapt The Legend of Zelda story at all. And I think somebody, on IGN, they posted, somebody made back in 2023, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time in Studio Ghibli inspired thing. And it's like 18 minutes long and it's beautiful. And it's like if you just look up Zelda Studio Ghibli, it's like perfect. Like it fits perfectly.
Yeah. I just thinking about it, it would be so much better than the live action that they're trying to put out.
Yeah. And that's even if the live action is good. Like the live action could be good, right? It like possibly could be good. It's never going to be better than this. Like this could be so good. Yeah. Miyazaki would take this and run with it and it would be so good. But it's never going to happen because they've already started the adaptation of in live action, which, I'm optimistic. I think it'll be okay. I think with the success of the Mario Brothers movie and how long it took for them to approve of everything, I think they're going to be kind of stingy and make sure that it's a good movie with their other like cash cow of a of a franchise. I'm surprised you didn't bring up like a Animal Crossing movie or something like that. Because if you were going to bring that up, I was going to say there's one that already exists.
I wasn't, just because of how many games they already have. Because I thought about it for sure. But with the games that they already have, especially New Horizons, to me, New Horizons just feels like an interactable, like, you know how Black Mirror was, not Black Mirror. I forgot which, I think there was an episode on Black Mirror where
the Bandersnatch.
Huh?
Bandersnatch, the Black Mirror episode is called, it's like a movie called Bandersnatch, and that's where you can interact and choose your own adventure.
Yeah. I think for me, like those types of TV shows and movies are really cool to me, but which is why I didn't bring up Animal Crossing, because New Horizons for me feels a lot like a choose your own adventure TV show already.
For sure. I could see that. I'm going to send you a poster for the Japanese only Animal Crossing movie that came out in 2006, which is crazy, but like it's animated. It looks perfect, right? Like
that looks amazing.
Yeah. I'll send you, this is what the like quote unquote main character looks like. She is a human and she's talking to one of the cats. Like it's, I want to watch it, but I don't know if it's in English or not. But yeah, art style's great. Characters look really good, and I'm sure it's super, super cute. I don't know why there hasn't been more of them. I'm sure maybe it's bad. But it looks like it's an hour and a half. It's got a 6.6 on IMDb. Yeah, I think that's one they might someday. There's a fan dub of the movie that might be worth it. But yeah, I thought maybe you'd bring that one up, but if not, I can go into my last one, and this will just be a nice little quick discussion episode, which I'm cool with. But do you have anything else you want to comment before I go into my last one?
No, I'm chilling.
Okay, so this is not my original idea. This is an idea. I forget what the podcast is called that I used to listen to. They no longer exist because they all had kids. But they are all writers. It's like a writer's room kind of thing. And they would get ideas and make them into scripts, basically. And what they came up with was a animated movie. I would like it to be a TV show, but an animated movie of in the horror genre of the Metroid series, which is, Samus and the Metroids and all those creepy enemies. The idea that they had, which I was like, yeah, this is dope. You don't have Samus talk because Samus doesn't talk really, except in 2 instances that I know of. And both times that she does, it's very impactful because she doesn't normally talk. You basically have her crash land on a ship, which is what usually happens, some way, shape, or form. She crash lands on a ship. She then meets a like alien that lives there, but is like trying to get off planet, or maybe he's a worker that got left behind, or some way, shape, or form like that. But he's the person that talks throughout the movie. And basically it's just, if you've ever seen the movie Alien or Aliens, you can combine the two. It's just Samus being a badass, and the only reason there's any kind of threat is because she's trying to save this guy that's going to help her get off planet because he's like a mechanic or something like that. And I just think, like, if you've ever played Dread or even Metroid Fusion, Metroid does such a good job of horror elements, like, because it is based off of like the Alien franchise and things like that. It's inspired by stuff like that, and it is so creepy. But it's like, oh yeah, it's pixel art. It's it's, shiny and smooth, so it's not as creepy. But if you put it into like a really well done anime, it could be like the creepiest shit ever. Like she fights ghost aliens at one point. Like there's some crazy shit. Like this is an image. I forget the name of this boss, but this is from Metroid. This thing, like this creepy ass.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a weird goo monster who's taken over a like mechanical like spinal thing. If you look up any like art of Samus like fighting these monsters, it's like if you see realistic drawings of them, you're like, oh my God, this is terrifying. But then you see them in the game and they're like, oh, they're kind of shiny, kind of smooth. But like you put them in a really creepy like setting and art style, it becomes like the perfect horror movie. But then the horror is, obviously got done away with because Samus is like the most badass woman in video games. I also love like, we can bring back Rhea Ripley. She can be Samus because Samus is like a giant woman.
She's gigantic.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my pitch. I think it would be very good. Especially because the story of Metroid Fusion, I think, does really well for a movie or a show or something like that. Because basically, what happens is she kind of fuses, hence the name Fusion, with this not a Metroid, but like this. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's like an alien, the X parasite or something like that. And it makes her suit like fuse to her body. And then she slowly gets her upgrades and everything like that. But what ends up happening is the X parasite also fuses with her old suit. And so throughout the game, you're being hunted by your fully upgraded suit. And it's like, she's like, that suit is like the Terminator. It's crazy. It's like so scary. It'll kill you so fast. And I think stuff like that would make for such a good anime. And I think you could tell all the stories in this way. Yeah. So I think that's my like, I would scream if there was some animated show about Metroid. Just cause damn, it would be so good. But, do you have any others like just kind of kicking around that you're like, oh yeah, like you don't have it fully thought out, but you think that might be a good idea?
No, not really. No? I'm gonna be completely honest.
All good, yeah. But yeah, those are our pitches. If you guys have any video game adaptations that you would like to see, let us know in the poll. We'll have a poll and a question on Spotify. And then you can also find us on social media and stuff to answer that question. Speaking of which, Jess, why don't you hit us with those socials?
You can find us everywhere, as in, i.e., on Twitter and not Twitter. Oh my God. I mean, technically on Twitter, but we are not active on there. On Instagram and Threads at ShortLongPod. In our link tree, you can find the link to our Discord community, LFG, a gaming community where we talk about everything gaming and also just daily life. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really it.
Yeah. And then we also have decided that the next game we're going to be playing for the month of May is, funnily enough, starring a cat named May. It's going to be A Night in the Woods, or just Night in the Woods, I believe. It's about a 10-hour game, so it's a little longer, but it's pretty chill. You can kind of pick at it slowly. And next month's going to be pretty busy for Jess and I in general, so we may finally break our streak of 2 episodes per month, but who knows? Maybe if Jess is open to it, we'll use the her conspiracy theory podcast as one of our Between the Games next month. But yeah, that's our game for next month. And if you guys liked this episode, please leave a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you prefer to listen. And if you're a returning listener, you know what to do. find a friend, send them this episode.
And kidnap them.
Yes, and kidnap them. I haven't gotten there yet. We're going to get there. Send them the episode, see what they think about video game adaptations, and maybe you guys can go see the Sonic movie that comes out at the end of this year. Yeah. Starring Shadow the Hedgehog.
Have you seen the sorry, I know this is mid outro.
It's completely fine.
The Knuckles TV show that they're coming out with.
I haven't seen it, no.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen ads for it.
Did you figure out who the voice actor for Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be?
No.
No? I've heard, let me make sure this is correct. I want to be 100% sure. Okay, yeah, it is. It's Keanu Reeves.
Oh my God, my roommate and I watched a video of someone animating Shadow the Hedgehog to Keanu Reeves' voice.
Yep. Yeah. Shadow the Hedgehog is going to be voiced by Keanu Reeves, which is great because I think his demeanor will do well as once he realizes that Sonic is not the bad guy. I think will be very good. But that'll be the note we end on. Yeah, go send it to somebody. You're going to send this episode to somebody that you will go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 with, because they'll probably want to listen to this episode. It'd be fun. But with that, don't forget to kidnap your friends.
Later. So you know how I'm always upset about how there's no Dr. Pepper on campus?
Yeah.
The Chick-fil-A just got knockoff Dr. Pepper.
What is it?
I saw it and it just said Doctor.
Oh, okay.
Called Doc.
It's just called Doc?
It's in the voice chat. Okay.
A bold burst of flavors? That is so strange.
Yeah.
Let me see. Doc Soda. Who owns that? Pepper Soda Doc. DrinkDoc.com. What is this abomination? There's more to life than 23 flavors is their advertisement on the top of their website.
That's wild.
Yeah. Hashtag Pepper Soda. Why does the cherry have an X on it?